Alright, so last episode was a big one. We started off by taking on Villarreal in La Liga, and we started off with a very easy victory over them, as you can see. Lewandowski was on fire in this game, scoring twice here to make it 2-0, but he wasn't done there. He wanted the hat-trick, and he ran through here inside the first half and bagged the hat-trick against Villarreal here, and Lewandowski proved he still has it at his age though. But in general, we made some massive signings, bringing Thomas Araujo into the club. We made some massive sales. You can see Daniel Madrid got hit. Araujo was sold into Liverpool, and Ter Stegen also leaving in Rashford and Paredes as a swap deal for Christensen. We then made a massive signing of Julian Alvarez to replace Lewandowski in the team with a swap deal with him going the other way and 95 million being paid. We then brought in Kenan Yildiz, who's been linked to Barcelona recently, and also Heung-min Son in as a experienced player for the team. It was then straight up into a game with Fermin Lopez. We took on a Bilbao here in the Super Copa semi-finals. They tried to reach the final. As you can see, Julian Alvarez would score his first goal for us in this first game. And then it was the final against Real Madrid. Lamine Yamal missed a big opportunity early on. But as you can see, Julian Alvarez was played through by Yamal. And Alvarez would find the back of the net here. And this is in the Super Copa final. Alvarez would then cut back, find Yamal, return the favour, because Yamal would score. And it would go into lift the Super Copa here. But it wasn't done there, because we would then face Real Madrid again in another El Clasico, where this goal actually was the only goal of the game, and a 1-0 victory, feeding it through there, and a good finish there to make it 1-0. Let's get into today's episode. However, to start today's episode off, it's another El Clasico against Real Madrid here in the second leg of the Copa del Rey here. I actually saw last week picked up a 1-0 victory in the first leg. This is the second one. Let's get into this game and hopefully repeat our victory and go through into, I believe, the final of the Copa del Rey after this game. And where we go here, this video might be out later today. I'm recording this at the usual time I usually upload my videos at 2 p.m. because I've had a lot to do today with everything going on. But for me, into Alvarez early on here. Alvarez, great turn from him. Alvarez, can he make it 1-0 early on? And he does so. And Julian Alvarez, what a signing here has been. We spent 95 million plus letting go Lewandowski to Atletico Madrid to bring him into the team. And since he came in, he has proven to be worth not only the money, but letting go Lewandowski, who actually saw in the past obviously has been great for us in this team since he came back from injury. But so letting him go is more realistic. And Alvarez is their main target. They're going for IRL, most likely anyway. That's their dream target they want at the striker role. And they've been linked with like so Harry Kane, but he's signed an extension at Bayern Munich. And other players as well, that youngster at Levante, who's doing pretty well, that we might have to bring in next season into the team. 3-2 and Mbappe. Mbappe, trying to hold off Kabasi, good defending. Mbappe goes down, no penalty. Good refereeing. And Pedri could get through here. Pedri. Oh, Militao recovers. Oh no, Mbappe. I'm surprised he played that out wide to Arda Güler. There's Güler on the ball now. He's doing well here, the Turkish talent. Twisting and turning, trying to find a way through. And there's Rafinha getting back and defending. Well, since we were 1-0 up, we've not really had any efforts on goal. Yamal though, should have worked one now. He's gone through the centre. Yamal running through, and Yamal makes it free. Just as I said, we haven't had any efforts. Yamal with the technical plus play style goes through two and scores a great goal there to make it 3-0 overall. And I think at half time I'm going to sim the rest of the game, and hopefully it doesn't backfire. But a 3-0 lead should be pretty final against Madrid here, who since beating us 1-0 or 2-1, sorry, in the first game of the series in El Clasico, we've been unstoppable ever since. As Yamal did a great finish on the number 10. So taking on the legacy of Messi. I'm surprised he did that, to be fair, but I understand why he did it at the same time. He could have carved out his own legacy as number 19, but number 10 is obviously a historic number, and well, getting the opportunity to win the number 10 is massive, especially at Barcelona. So I don't blame him for doing so. Rafinha. And Pedri. And Pedri from range of Pedri. I thought that went in for a second. You are now looking to just twist and keep possession. Pedri. So the Hassan right being forced backwards. They're trying to get it forward though, but they're Trent blocking off. A pass there to Rafinha, and that's going to be half time. 3-0 up in the second leg of the Copa del Rey, and we should be fine from the rest of this one. And I'm going to hopefully not regret doing this right now. There we go. Let's go to sim to the end. And it ends up being a 3-0 victory overall. No, 3-0 victory in the game, but 4-0 overall as Frenkie de Jong added the third on the night for us in this game here. And what in classic FC fashion, we've got a homesick player here. If you remember back in the day when this used to happen, It most of the time didn't make sense to the player that's saying it's homesick. We're talking about Thomas Araujo, someone who's Portuguese, who's now living in Spain, which is next to Portugal. There's not much difference. The weather's the same. The cultures are pretty much the same, obviously a bit different between Spanish and Portuguese culture. The food is pretty much the exact same. So why is Araujo of all players that one is homesick? Not Marcus Rashford. Not whoever signed who's not like from this area. Kenan Yildiz who's Turkish. Why is it Araujo who's homesick? Like, why is it him? But we're gonna obviously let him time to sort it out, take some time off to deal with it. But as you can see, we're simming through some games. We drew the first against Monaco. We're going to sim through all these games here, and we'll get to the games we need to play at some point. I'm doing it by the calendar, I'm doing it without showing you guys just to make it quicker in the episode so we can get to the end of the episode a bit quicker. And as you can see, it's going to be up against Julian Alvarez's former team, and also we got up against our former player Lewandowski, who is now playing for Atletico Madrid against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League quarterfinals here. Let's get into this one. We beat Monaco 4-2 overall in the round of 16 before we got to this game. Let's get into this one and hopefully defeat Atletico Madrid in the first leg at home. As you can see by the kits, so we have to change the kits for the kit clash situation. And we haven't used the away kit yet in the series, so I thought might as well use it for this game. By the way, I should say that Ferran Torres has requested a transfer, and he's only got 1 year left of his contract at the end of the season. But here it is, Firmino. He might be able to make it 1-0, but Black makes the save. Should maybe try the low-driven shot there, but I thought Firmino could have found that finish there. But Firmino steals it. Yamal flicks it. Oh, that's lovely from Yamal. And Yamal, low-driven. He misses though. Against us, and if we score with Alvarez, I might do the show respect celebration. We are playing at the home stadium, and that's a header won by Rafinha, but Oblak makes a save again. I'm saying Gonzalez, thinking this is Nico Gonzalez from Man City, but I'm not too sure who this could be playing at fullback. The only player I can think of is Nico O'Reilly, but that's got to say from John Garcia. And Petri, okay, he gets the ball off in there, not too sure how, but he did. Griezmann. Oh, and it's ball through to Alex Baena, and Baena puts Atletico Madrid 1 goal up in this game, and that might be a yellow card for our player as well. That's not a great start, considering we should have scored 2 goals in this game with the Firmino chance and also the Yamal chance. Going 1-0 down in this game. Alvarez. And Atletico Madrid, by the way, are like 20 points below us in the league table, so losing to them in the Champions League would be a massive loss for us. And Yamal does incredible there. A great first touch, and he scores at the end of that chance. And Lamine Yamal puts us back level straight away since we conceded in this game. You'd have to see it. I was surprised we scored there. I thought the defender was going to get to that ball right there, but Yamal took it down. I had to take it away from Oblak and then go for the finish, and he managed to find the back of the net this time. And Yamal puts us back level straight away in this game. Ball forward. Into Antoine Griezmann. It does well at Griezmann. Still going. That's good defending there though from us. Frankie de Jong from range. The Dutchman hits it, where it flies over the bar. Ball through to Rafinha. Inside, Rafinha hits it, and Rafinha's denied by Oblak, and it doesn't fall to Yamal. We're going to make changes pretty soon. Bring on Kenan Yildiz. It's Firmino. Into Julian Alvarez as well. Alvarez, can he make it? 2-1, no he can't. Hit straight at his former teammate. We should have been 2-0 up in the first half, but we ended up going 1-0 down at one point. And there we go, on the attack. Ferran Torres has requested a transfer. Ferran Torres, though, doesn't score. Ball forward into Lewandowski, our former player. Now inside here to Alexander Sorloth. That's going to be picked up by Kabasi. They're keeping possession. And there's Lewandowski out wide to Almeida. No, Llorente, sorry. He's made the overlap. That's blocked out Balde, though, straight to John Garcia. Let's get this forward quickly. Rashford doesn't win the header, and that's going to be the end of the game. A 1-1 draw. But I feel like we should have won this game. I will sim the second leg. But I feel like we should have won this game. Looking at the stats, definitely we should have won this game. And in the second leg away from home, it's a 2-0 victory and 3-1 overall, with Julian Alvarez scoring against his former team in his former stadium, and also Pedro scored a goal late on to see ourselves through into the semi-finals of the Champions League. And for the final game of today's episode, we're going to take on Celta Vigo, who are somehow bottom of the table, 20th in the league, but somehow have made it all the way through to the final of the Copa del Rey here. As you can see in the Bernabeu, we're going to have taken them on. Obviously, the home stadium of our rivals, Real Madrid. We're going to hopefully lift the trophy here. We should do it anyway. De Jong, the captain, will get to lift the trophy here. Let's get into this one and hopefully win well, our second trophy of the series. And where we go here, I'm also training, by the way, Alvarez up to be a Camp Nou because I can't even speak. And I should also mention, as we start this game, I'm training Alvarez to be a cam as well, because he somehow doesn't have cam on his roles and positions he can play. Even though that's where he played for Man City most of the time. But basically, I'm training him to be a cam, so we also can put him on shadow striker if we ever need him to play that position. Boss talent. Firmino. And Alvarez, lovely touch there from him. I'm surprised that worked. Alvarez. That's 1-0. And by the way, next up, in the next episode, we're going to start the episode off with the semi-finals of the Champions League. And this man, Julian Alvarez, is going to be suspended for the first leg against the winners last season, PSG. I believe we're at home, and obviously with our Ferran Torres and also Rashford, that can play striker, so it's not the end of the world. But Alvarez being missing for that game is a massive loss for us, and hopefully won't cost us too much against PSG next episode. But to end this one, we're going to take on Celta Vigo here in what should be a fairly comfortable Copa del Rey final victory for us here. Inside it's about Iglesias. That's going to be good defending there from Rafinha. Now Firmino. This players either side of him. Pass the ball to, but he's going to go alone here and take a long shot. And Fermin Lopez is denied by Ray in goal. And it comes back to Yamal. Looks lovely there from Yamal. And Yamal denied by Ray again. I remember signing a few years ago in like Barcelona Career Modes. Zaragoza. But inside the Iglesias is good defending though from Kabasi. He's been the best player so far. He's looking to prove himself in this one. Kabasi though comes over and defends against his fellow Spaniard, staying his ground. Now Firmino. To Julian Alvarez. Goes inside again. Alvarez, can he double our lead here and double his goal tally for this game? Yes, he does. He is going to be a big miss to that PSG game, I'm telling you now. Not having him for that first leg is going to be massive. I didn't even know he was suspended up until before this game. I saw the email saying suspended, and I was like, I just sighed, knowing that he wasn't going to be in the team for the PSG game. That would have mean that he got a bunch of yellow cards in his time at Atletico Madrid before signing for us in the Champions League. But it is where it is. And he'll be back for the second leg at least, but we might not need him for the second leg because we might win the first leg convincingly and send us through to the final. Oh, lovely work there from him. Alvarez through to Yamal. What is the play here? Yamal trying to get it inside, but defender stops him. You know what, Kabasi, why not Kabasi? It sets for him, and Kabasi, not a bad effort. As you can see, we made substitutions. Heung-min Son's now onto the pitch here to take a free kick for us. And put him on at striker, and Son, can he score for us here? From the free kick, Son hits it, and Son, a little bit more height on that one. That might have found the back of the net there. Should I just catch the keeper off guard with an effort that you wouldn't expect? Well, Gavi first and foremost for him, since his injury. Son, back to Gavi, and Gavi, back here to Heung-min Son, and Gavi link up, but their keeper makes the save. He's made a couple of big saves in this game. Fair play to him. You know what Yildiz, why not? Yildiz from range, and Ray again makes a save. Son steals it off him. It's good defending there though against him though. Yamal, can you win that header? Yes, he does. Yildiz. Blocked though by the defender. Since going 2-0 down, they've been pretty good defensively. Celta Vigo. We've had a couple of chances. That's great right there from Yamal. Ferran over to Gavi, and that's a fantastic goal just for the skill move from Yamal. The whacker from Lamine Yamal inside. And then Gavi, after coming back from injury, gets a goal here. You'd love to see it. As he was out injured for most of the season, came back in today's episode from his long-term injury and scores here. You'd love to see that. Ball to Ferran Torres, gets the assist. And like I said, Ferran Torres has submitted a transfer request. I can't give him a new contract right now because, like I said, he's not happy at the club. But hopefully, it will switch up and he'll decide to stay. He does only have 1 year left in his contract, so if by January next season we don't, I say maybe like November next season, we don't have a new contract for him, we might have to sell him or just keep him at the club for the second season and hope he doesn't leave on a free, because we're doing 2 seasons here at Barcelona, trying to win 2 Champions Leagues and also win the league title as well. But right now we're like 7 points behind, top of the table, Real Madrid. So this season, winning the league title doesn't seem to be the outcome we're going to get. But obviously next season we're looking to come back stronger and win the league. And obviously make more signings. Yildiz frees it through into Hyung. Min Son, he makes it 4. And you'd love to see it. Son scores for us here. We haven't seen him score since he came in. Obviously, in real life, they're looking to bring him on a 6-month loan with the Beckham rule. And in this service, we signed him on a permanent basis for 20 million. He's got a £15 release because he's gone down to -1 in his rating. But still, Son is a great player in that striker role. And even at left mid, he can do a great job as well. We should love to see. I might even train him to be a shadow striker in the cam role. He might be decent there. But love to see it. Son scores to make it 4-0 here for us. Just going to love the work rate of Son. And Yildiz again. Back to Son. Yildiz making the free for Heung-min Son for another Son. And that's 5. Finesse shot there. Plus from Heung-min Son, he comes on, gets 2 goals. And Yildiz with the assist. Lovely link-up play between those two there. Quick back and forth between them. And Heung-min Son there stays composed and finds the finish there for the 2nd time. And shows he's going to still be a great player for us in this team. Despite not having the pace he used to have. And being, 33 now, I believe, or 32. He's still a fantastic player. And can offer us something in this team throughout the series when we need him. Right. We're on the attack again here, Yildiz. And Son's made a run again. Son is a hat-trick hero in the final. It's now 6. He does not have advanced forwards plus, by the way. He's playing advanced forward with no pluses. And he's scored a hat-trick. That's just how good Heung-min Son is. 3 efforts and 3 goals, I believe, for him. And 3 great finishes. And Yildiz again with the assist. Those two are combining, forming a great partnership between each other. And it's a hat-trick for him in the final. And it's 6-0. They have to make it a change due to injury in the build-up. I think it might have been Aspas who went off. But Celta Vigo has shown why they were bottom of the table. Why they are bottom of the table in this game here. It's going to be a 6-0 victory. And we win the Copa del Rey with that result there. And well, after 2 goals from Julian Alvarez, 1 goal from Gavi and 3 at the death from Heung-min Son. A hat-trick sees himself, sees us win the Copa del Rey here 6-0. What performance that was from the team, especially after we made the substitutions. That was just ruthless from the likes of Yildiz, Son, who were brought on to just wrap up this game. And Frankie de Jong gets his 2nd trophy as captain of Barcelona. We won the Super Copa last episode, and now we lift the Copa del Rey. You'd love to see it. Next episode, we're going to try and win the Liga. Well, try and maybe somehow win the Liga. We're 7 points behind Real Madrid. It's very unlikely we do so. But we're also going to try and win the Champions League. Obviously, in the first week of the semi-finals, we won't have Julian Alvarez. Let's get into the menus and do the outro there and show you what is up in next episode. And well, that's going to call it for the end of today's episode. As you can see, next episode, we're going to take on PSG away from home in Paris. The EAFC Champions League winners I role last season without Julian Alvarez in the striker role. But as we just saw, Heung-min Son can play that position to an incredible ability. He scored a hat-trick against Celta Vigo. Granted, they're bottom of the table, but it was still a cup final, and he still managed to get the position to score all 3 goals, which were great finishes from him. So he will play striker for us in this game against PSG most likely, or Rashford. I'm not too sure who I want to start in that role, but as you can see, the other semi-final is Man City v Real Madrid, and City are currently 2-0 up in that one. So it looks like we're going to be meeting Pep Guardiola, who managed to beat PSG in the final of the Champions League, obviously up against the manager who made Barcelona the dominant force. It was during like the 2010s up until he left in 2015 if I'm not mistaken. But in terms of the league table, as you can see, we are 6 points behind them, which isn't awful. We drew 5 games, that's the issue for us. We drew too many games, but as you'll look by the we played Osasuna or 5th. But as you'll look by the calendar, the fixtures we have coming up are not the easiest but not the hardest. We have Real Madrid in El Clasico. We then have Real Betis, who are decent. We're going to sim against them. Atletico Madrid here at home at the end, and also Valencia, who obviously not the team they used to be in the last game of the season before we get into the Champions League final, which obviously will be over here. But that game against Real Madrid is a big one for us. We need to obviously beat Osasuna to get the 3 points. Beat Real Madrid. We then or level on points with them, if I'm not mistaken, unless they win their next game. They'll be 3 points ahead of us, most likely. So going into the next episode, we have to win every single game to maybe just finish 3 points behind them. That's the reality we're in right now. Even if we win every game, we could still be just 3 points off winning the league title this season, which would be kind of awful. But, at the same time, it is where it is. But PSG is the biggest one in the Champions League. We're looking to win that one and at least have that to say over Real Madrid. Looking at the stats of the players, you'll see we're having some incredible performers in the team. I see Julian Alvarez, before we signed him, had 14 goals and 5 assists. But as you can see, since joining us, he's now got 29 and 8. So it's been incredible for us. Rafinha 16 and 14. Yamal 13 and 12. Rashford 12 and 4. Firmino in that cam role 9 and 12. And Pedri 11 and 7. Ferran Torres doing decent as well. And also Frankie de Jong doing pretty good. And Yildiz 5 and 6 from him, which you have to see. And this seems like an incredible. If you're going to enjoy today's episode, drop a like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching and goodbye.